Let's see what happens.
It's gotta be like new. It's gotta be like really, really new. It's gotta be. Oh, hello. I'm Tim Schafer from Video Games. I was just trying to come up with a whole new term for world premiere because this edition of Day of the Devs has so many world premieres in it, more than we've ever had before. I think it demands an entirely new term. Day of the Devs, as you know, is a 100% nonprofit where it finds and presents the best in new games for you, and also a chance to meet the developers who made them. So while I'm working on this problem, you just enjoy Day of the Devs. Pro premiere. Lots of pro. No? Okay.
There's nothing I dread more than having to make a top 10 list of video games, but if I did, I'd definitely put Nidhogg on that list. So I'm very excited to show you a world premiere of what Messhoft's been working on.
Hi, I'm Mark Essen. I'm the creative director and co-founder of Messhoft. You might know us for our 2014 hit Nidhogg, which is a fencing tug-of-war game with flying worms that eat you at the end. More recently, we came out with Wheel World, an open-world bicycle racing game about saving the world. I love making games. I've been making games since I was probably 15 years old. It's something I do for fun in addition to my job. So at night, you might find me just sketching out ideas for little games and sending them around to friends, which is how Blood Dungeon was created. Blood Dungeon is a platforming game where you're not just standing on platforms, you're crawling on the sides of platforms, you're hanging from the ceilings, you're walking across tight ropes, you're jumping onto nets, climbing ladders. It's not a Metroidvania, you're not like learning these skills over time, so you can think of it
So
like
what does everyone think of this indie title? Because I mean, obviously a lot of the games we're going to see are indie games. I'm curious to see what people think of the indie side of the games.
Hand animate pixels, and so it was fun to just churn them out, make lots and lots of silly little characters and enemies and stuff. And I think the game turned out really fun. There's a handful of arenas to explore. You'll unlock over 100 weapons. It's like these other Survivor games you've probably played, where you're kiting the enemies and they're sort of following you in a big mass. But in this game, you're in a maze as well, a maze with gravity. Really a game about routing. You get to know the levels, you get to know which weapons work with which other weapons, and maybe you find a character that you really connect with based on the art or just the way they move. So I'm excited to share it more widely when it comes out later this year.
The coolest thing about video games is that anything is possible. However, it is likely impossible that you could guess what this next game is.
Hello, I'm Andres Bordi. And I'm Mason Smith, also known as Airdwarf. And we are very excited to show you Tenebris Somnia, our game, which is a retro survival horror with live action cutscenes.
Yeah, the horror fans must be eating themselves right now.
That's right, these insane madmen actually put in a live-action horror movie made by a professional production company and an award-winning special effects team right here in their Fixel horror game. So the story of Tenebris Somnia follows Julia, an Argentine girl who's having nightmares every night about her ex-boyfriend Ivan being killed by horrible monsters. And she finds out that the nightmare is real and now she's trapped inside it. Tenebris Somnia has classic survival horror gameplay that you would remember from games like Resident Evil, but it has this super retro, chunky pixel aesthetic. And in order to survive, Julia has to solve puzzles and collect items and also manage her consumables if she's going to make it through. So once I was playing Faith on streaming, and I said I would like to do something like this. Yeah, and in 2023, Dave Autry came to me with the trailer for Tenebris Somnia, and he said, hey, I want you to check this out and let me know if you think this would be a good title for us to publish.
So I had known Andres and Tobias and the guys at Cybot Studios down in Argentina for quite a long time, and I knew how much Faith inspired Tenebris Somnia. So I said, guys, there's really only one way we're making this game, and that's if Airdorf signs on as executive producer.
Andres was the director of one of my favorite horror short films, Alexia, and so I was really excited. I immediately said yes. I didn't put it together at the time, but I think it was just this weird, evil twist of fate that we get to work together now. It's something that it hasn't been done in a really long time, specifically combining this retro-style gameplay with live-action scenes that look this group. And besides filming on sets, they also filmed on location in several places in Buenos Aires. These cutscenes bring a lot of talent from the film industry in Argentina and also television and also the theater industry. And also the monsters that you see in pixel form during regular gameplay make an appearance in live action, and they were achieved using practical and digital makeup and monster VFX by an awards-winning special effects team, and absolutely no generative AI.
Yeah, had to make that clear.
The game and the cinematics get really crazy and psychotic towards the end, and I can't wait for y'all to play it.
Right? What
Thank you
games
for
has
giving
everyone
us the
been
opportunity
liking
to show
so
you
far?
Tenebris Somnia. Please look for Tenebris Somnia later this year on October the 16th on PC and consoles. Tenebris Somnia, Retro Nightmares, Real Life Horrors, October 16th, 2026.
Get ready to get your groove on with our next title, Mr. Records. Two of the game's designers, who you'll meet in a moment, are also its composers. That is so cool. French developer Glitchies has put together a combination of mechanics and music that'll leave you nodding your head and tapping your feet. Enjoy this world...
Universio Revelio is what people call that now.
I'm not doing that. Enjoy this world premiere of Mr. Records.
Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Valentin. We are the composers and game designers behind Glitchy Studio, creators of Headbangers Rhythm Royale and Musical Story.
Our small studio focuses on crafting innovative music games, and today we'd like to introduce our new project, Mr. Records. This is George. He has an extraordinary gift. He can travel through music. As soon as he hears the first notes of a record, he's transported into vivid worlds where he interacts rhythmically with the environment and unfolding events.
Turn in your ears, give up your fears.
A wide range of musical gameplay experiences shaped his journeys, letting him feel the music in a truly unique way.
I have to say, there has been a lot of really good announcements today, I will say.
When he's not exploring these musical worlds, George runs his record store. Every journey completed becomes a vinyl, available for sale in the shop. Your goal is to understand each customer's needs and match them with the right record. Everyone has their own way of expressing what they're looking for, along with a distinct personality. Their stories intertwine with George's, creating a narrative that is intimate, humorous, and heartfelt. Selling records allows you to acquire new ones to play, forming a fresh and surprising gameplay loop.
As composers, this record shop setting is really inspiring, as it gives us the freedom to explore a wide range of musical styles.
So this is George's life, told track by track. Over 45 songs, each tied to a moment, a memory, or a feeling. We had so much fun creating and recording all those songs, and we'd like to give you a quick preview of the result.
I'm sitting in my armchair and I don't know what to do or what to say.
Sausage blue.
I knew it was for life. This day became magical. Pieces of you surround me.
Take all the bad days of our weather, then flip it around and make it all better. Just give it a strong and never say never. We got one life, make this your treasure.
We're a small team of 4, and we've poured a lot of heart into this game. There's still so much more to share about Mr. Records, so stay tuned for more updates coming soon. Bye!
In the spirit of camaraderie with fellow Canadians, Day of the Devs alums, and makers of Spiritfarer, here is Thunder Lotus with some exciting news.
Hello, my name is Jem, and I'm a game designer.
I'm Stefania, I'm an art director. We're from Thunder Lotus in Montreal, Quebec, and you might know us from our game, Spiritfarer.
Okay. For the past 7 years, we've been working on something quite different. Our latest game, 33 Immortals. How many games have you played where you really wanted to play with random strangers?
How many times have you felt the primal thrill of defeating massive enemies in epic raids without the stress, the grind, or wondering if you're good enough? Welcome
Canadian
to 33
developer
Immortals,
on the
our
screen.
close-action roguelike for 33 players. No waiting around, you jump straight into the action through instant matchmaking, you tear through hordes of enemies sent by God to punish you, and rebel against the wrath of God together. You can play solo if you want, or with 1, 2, or 3 friends, because in 33 Immortals, everything is about cooperation.
We spent a lot of time designing the game so that you want to play with others, even if you don't know them. There is no voice chat in this game. Use in-game emotes to communicate with your fellow rebels. Combine your strength, whether you're a tank, specialist, ranged, or melee player, and push forward no matter what. You will die, and that's okay. Because with every run, you grow stronger. You'll have to. What you're up against is nothing less than the wrath of God. And the best part? You never face it alone. You face it together. 33 Immortals releases this summer.
So come join the rebellion.
Sometimes in life, there are things that just make you want to give up and go fishing. An apocalypse that ravaged the Earth and left us in a world filled with Lovecraftian nightmares and mutants might just be one of those things. So pop on your waders, folks, and grab your lures. From Dream Dock, this is Dreadmore.
Hi, I'm Rostislav Fedorov, CEO of Dream Dog Studio, and today I'll be talking to you about Dreadmore.
Oh my Lord, take this soul, lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home, lay me at the bottom.
Dreadmore is a first-person fishing adventure game set in a world where long ago a catastrophe took place, changing the land, water, creatures, and the people who survived. Now it is a dark, dangerous place that is flooded and rotting. As the player, you travel on a fishing boat that is your lifeline in this world, but that also means it is your responsibility to keep it fueled up and repaired. You can go on the land, walk from place to place, and meet the people living in this world. Those people can be quite strange, but you'll find that as you talk to them, you'll pick up quests and learn a lot about the place that they live. The most important part of the game, fishing. We made sure that fishing is not just a simple mini-game. You start by checking the water, casting your line, and then you wait. What happens next depends on what bites. Every type of creature needs a unique way to catch them. The right rod, bait, timing, and some need a completely
so what does
different
everyone
approach.
think about the
And
Day of
if
the
you want to
Devs
catch the
stuff
rarest
so
of
far?
creatures, you'll need to be at the
Okay,
right
I'm
place
curious.
in
I'm
the right
curious to see
time.
what everyone thinks.
Anything you catch can't be sold to traders or broken down to use for crafting. You can also scavenge and salvage materials that you find. You use a harpoon to pull in floating debris. One man's junk is another you have to find. You use a harpoon to pull in floating debris. One man's junk is another man's treasure. If you won't go too deeper into the game, you have to craft bait, harpoons, medicine, and gear. Very often you'll need to make what you need from what you can gather by yourself. There are many things we haven't shown yet, and I'm sure that you'll be surprised by what the game has in store, so make sure that you wishlist the game and join our Discord to stay updated and get more information about our game. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome one and all to the world of Dreadmore.
We've got some news from a game we've been following for quite some time. It's from a Canadian studio that knows their retro.
Welcome to the end, hero. When would you like to begin?
Okay, sure.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick.
And I'm Robbie. We're the co-founders of Rio Games.
Back in high school, the two of us made a promise to each other that we would one day make a love letter to the JRPGs grew up on. Games like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Xenogears, the sorts of games that we played right after school, huddled next to a CRT, and the kind of games that decided what we wanted to do growing up.
That was over 20 years ago. A few years back, we walked away from our jobs to actually go and do it. The game is called Threads of Time, a turn-based, time-traveling RPG. Some of what you're about to see here today hasn't been shown anywhere else yet, including a first look at our time ship, the Needle.
You captain the Needle, and you fly between the eras and gather party members from across history, all in a quest to restore the order of the fallen Time Knights. You can go to the future, you can go to prehistory and see the dinosaurs, and if you'd like, you can even prevent them from extinction and see them evolve through time.
Combat is turn-based, the kind that we grew up on. Each character manipulates time in their own way with the goal of interrupting enemies' attacks. How you bend time is key, as are combos between party members. Time is the through line for our whole game, and you'll definitely feel it in combat.
The team that we've put together still does not feel real to us. We've been able to find all of these JRPG fans from across the industry, from AAA veterans to indie darlings who've worked on games like Shovel Knight and Deltarune and more. We're also super fortunate to work with legends from Japan, whose work on Final Fantasy, Xenoblade, and more is part of why we're here today. We can't wait to share more about these legends that we're collaborating with soon.
Threads of Time represents our lifelong goal to create cherished game experiences, just the way like others did for us back in the 90s and beyond. That's our mission that we set out at Rio Games, to craft retro-infused RPGs that awaken cherished childhood memories.
So that's a bit about us and Threads of Time. It means a lot to show a glimpse of what our team has been up to, and we cannot wait to share more.
Thanks so much for having us at Day of the Devs.
Bye everyone.